Every electronic device around us, from the phone in your hand to the satellites orbiting Earth, is built from the same small set of basic components. These components may look simple, but together they form the foundation of modern technology. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into some of the most essential electronic components: resistors, capacitors, diodes, transistors, and integrated circuits. And by the end, you'll see how these tiny parts completely change the world. 1. Resistors. The flow managers. A resistor is one of the simplest components, but its role is critical. Resistors limit the flow of electrical current. Without them, circuits would overheat or even burn out instantly. Think of electricity like water flowing through pipes. A resistor is like narrowing the pipe so that only a certain amount of water can pass through. That's why resistors are measured in ohms. It's the resistance to the flow. You'll find resistors everywhere, inside phone chargers, radios, televisions, and even inside your car's electronics. They are often color-coded with stripes that tell you their value. For beginners, learning to read resistor codes is like learning the alphabet of electronics. Without resistors, no circuit could function safely. 2. Capacitors. The short-term batteries. Capacitors are often compared to small rechargeable batteries, but with one big difference: they charge and discharge extremely quickly. Imagine you're taking a photo with a camera. When you press the flash button, a capacitor inside stores energy and then releases it all at once, creating that bright flash. In computers, capacitors smooth out fluctuations in power supply, making sure the processor gets steady voltage. In audio systems, they filter signals to make sound cleaner. There are many types: ceramic capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, supercapacitors. Each has its own role. For example, supercapacitors can store a surprising amount of energy and are now being explored for use in electric cars. In short, capacitors are like shock absorbers for electricity, keeping everything stable and ready to deliver bursts of energy when needed. 3. Diodes. Electricity's one-way streets. Diodes are fascinating because they allow current to flow in only one direction. This makes them perfect for converting alternating current AC into direct current DC. Take your phone charger as an example. The electricity from your wall socket alternates back and forth, but your phone battery can only store DC. Inside that little charger are diodes, silently converting AC to DC every time you plug it in. A very special type of diode is the light-emitting diode, or LED. LEDs are now everywhere, in flashlights, car headlights, television screens, and even in the tiny notification light on your laptop. What makes LEDs so revolutionary is their efficiency. They use a fraction of the energy compared to traditional light bulbs and can last tens of thousands of hours. It's hard to imagine modern life without them. 4. Transistors. The switches that changed the world. If I had to choose one component that completely transformed humanity, it would be the transistor. Invented in 1947, the transistor replaced bulky vacuum tubes, allowing electronics to become smaller, faster, and more reliable. A transistor can act as a tiny electronic switch or an amplifier. For example, in a microphone circuit, your voice creates a small electrical signal. A transistor takes that weak signal and amplifies it so it can drive a speaker. But the real magic happens when you pack billions of transistors together. That's what a microprocessor is: billions of microscopic switches flipping on and off every second, processing information. Your smartphone alone contains around 15 to 20 billion transistors inside its main chip. Imagine that: millions of tiny switches, all smaller than a human hair, working together to make apps, videos, and calls possible. 5. Integrated circuits. The brains of modern electronics. An integrated circuit, or IC, is essentially an entire circuit miniaturized into a single chip. Instead of wiring together thousands of individual components, engineers discovered how to etch them into silicon. ICs are the brains of your laptop, game console, car engine, and even household appliances like washing machines. There are many types of ICs: microcontrollers, which act like tiny computers for controlling machines; memory chips, which store information; processors, which run billions of calculations per second. Without integrated circuits, we wouldn't have smartphones, the internet, or even modern medicine. The technology behind ICs has advanced so much that today we can fit more computing power in a smartwatch than the computers used during the Apollo missions to the moon. 6. How components work together. It's one thing to know components individually, but the real magic happens when they work together. A resistor might control the brightness of an LED. A capacitor might stabilize power for a microcontroller. A transistor might act as a switch, turning a motor on and off, and an integrated circuit ties it all together into a smart system. For example,